Welcome back to DJFM, this shit show on the internet. One of the many that exist, I guess. Or whatever the fuck I've tried to do on the internet or do with this podcast or when I talk to a microphone or whatever I have decided to call this thing. God forbid, and I'm just moving shit around. Hopefully I can say my piece, whatever the fuck I'm about to do. Just trying to get my brain working is really what this is. It's like just trying to turn some dials and get the electricity flowing through whatever neurons exist in this brain that it's probably just air. In reality, a lot of it's probably just fucking air. Just some hollow holes that allow, like SpongeBob's brain, where you can just blow in it and it just, you plug in one side of it, you can kind of just hear a different melody come playing it, like it's a flute. It's more of a high-end flute, I guess, is what it would be. Dude, I feel like I go on, I'm like, oh, things are crazy. I'm like, no, things are always crazy. Things are always absurd. I don't think there's been a single time since COVID, nothing has been normal whatsoever. It was crazy during, it was crazy after, and everything, it was crazy during, crazy, yeah, whatever. It's been crazy ever since then. And it's only just kind of picked up. And why? I feel like we should take a chill pill and like reevaluate the direction we're going, but that's not going to happen. We're just going to keep going full force and whatever the fuck is going to occur. But Kanye's making the news again. I thought he disappeared for a while. I mean, he got banned from X because he started posting porn on his account. I was like, oh, great. I'm glad. You're just showing what's in Twitter. You're just not making it. You're just making it mainstream now. You're not hiding it. It's respected, but it was a little too far. I feel like I didn't need to read the tweet that said, this is my favorite porn, so all of you get to enjoy it. I'm like, I didn't need to enjoy it. I got my own taste. I'm glad you feel confident enough to share it with the world, but you don't need to. Everybody else watches it in private. They don't pay attention to what you had to say or what it is, because we all have our own tastes. We don't want to be a part of them. We just want to know that we're crazy and that we're skeptical and that we're bad shit crazy. We want to be validated for our taste, but that's not the point. What I was trying to get at. This motherfucker's in the news because his latest song, again, a banger. Not appropriate for anything, but hey, it's got a good beat. Should the hook been different? Maybe, but this song probably would have topped the charts if it wasn't for its anti-Semitic undertones. Not really undertones, just in your face. But I kind of respect it. You can tell he did this as like a fuck you. He's crazy. He's been off his meds. He's in and out of the loony bin like every other year. So we can't be totally surprised that he wrote a song condemning Hitler or like praising Hitler. But if he chose any other word or like story to tell or way to talk, things to talk about, this probably would have been a hit song of the summer. It might have. It had a good beat. He had flow. He was with it. You can feel the passion. But since it is not family appropriate, I guess it never gets seen the light of day. Which is a shame. But I understand. We don't want to be promoting something like this. It's crazy though, but because this song got taken down so quickly off of YouTube. Not YouTube, but like off of Spotify, Apple Music. Like the moment he released it, it was up for a little bit. People were listening to it, and then people realized what he was talking about and what he was saying. I'm like, oh, okay. We can't let we're trying to be not PG but appropriate for everybody, and I don't think having this song on our platform is really family friendly. I can imagine the conversation they had with Kanye. Like after that, it's like you realize this was not appropriate. And he's like, yeah, but that's terrible. Yeah, but I'm gonna keep posting it. No, you're not. The only way to see this song is like on YouTube. I haven't even seen. I listened to the song partially. No, I listened to the song. It's a decent song. Terrible wording. Probably should have used. Probably could have used anything else. Not condoning the lyrics or the meaning behind the song. But you can't discredit talent. He's got a way with word. He's got a way with music. He's got a strength in him. Does he have flaws? Of course. Every great musician has flaws because they're crazy. It just happens he doesn't like the Jewish population. Maybe they've done him dirty. Maybe he doesn't like them. He is in the music business, so he's probably dealt with some in the past that he's probably not the biggest fan of. We shouldn't just group them together. Seeing this, having him release this song, I'm not completely surprised. I am surprised that I'm more surprised that people are surprised that he would release a song like this. But I'm more surprised that we kind of just didn't address the stuff that was happening in some of the songs that he had released beforehand. Because he has a song called Black Skinhead, and I feel like that's like a little on the nose. Like that's kind of a wink. If this song is just right out of the gate, like a no-no, you probably... Black Skinhead shouldn't be a yes. Like that's probably where we should have pulled the line, looked at what was coming around the corner, saw it in our rear view mirror, and just said something. But no, he's talented. He was good at what he does. So we're not going to say anything. Probably should. We should have. I think someone should have. Someone should have sat him down. He's one of those crazy people that losing everything is really not going to help show him the path that he's on is not the right path. But how do you reason with someone that's crazy? You just kind of let him roll. Try to dodge the crazy bullets that are flying, because if you try to get nicked with one, you're just dragged into it. Someone just stopped. Someone just stepped in front of him. They're like, let's listen to this one more time. You got any other ideas for the hook? Something that's not tied to World War II anti-Semitism in any way. Something that wasn't chanted as they desecrated an entire population. But maybe just something else. Now we're going to go with that. Tight. Sure. You're Kanye. You know what's best. You've been the number one rapper of all time. But what are you going to do? He's crazy. You gotta raise with the crazy people. You can't just let them roll. If you let them just start getting out of line and you don't say anything, because then it just all snowballs. And no one's there to pull them back. Because they'll sit there and just press the boundaries of how far they can take it, where they can go. And you're just like, you probably should take a step back. But no one pushed back. They were like, dude, these songs are amazing. People were bumping to them. No one's really listening to the words or the kind of person that's releasing them or anything that it has to say. It's like, yeah, let them speak. You can rap and drop a beat. That's impressive. What do you mean he believes death to the Jews? You think that's a right to turn around? No. He knows he can make great music. And I think right now is probably the perfect indicator. That's like, just because you're talented and can make great music doesn't mean you should overly be trusted. It's like maybe there's something going on. Like, we can check those screws, make sure they're bolted in tight. I know I got a few that are sticking out by a mile. There's no way Kanye's are attached to his head anymore. Or a lot of the people in the music community or like pop community. rap community. What it would seem is what it seems like. But this is what happens when you don't check people and you don't pull back on their crazy. You kind of just let them, and you let them do whatever they want, and eventually they get songs of them saluting Hitler and praising the Fifth Reich. Not the best look on it, but it's what you get when things are unchecked. Just like this Texas mom, who this story to me is wildly crazy. It was a Texas mother is sorry. This is like a sidestep from kind of because I couldn't figure out how to tie these two stories together. Besides the fact that they're both crazy. So a Texas mother is charged with buying ammo and tactical gear for her son who planned to attack a middle school. Like, dude, I get the Fifth Amendment. I 100% do. I think we should all have. I think it's a right that you should be willing to have. I don't think you should be going out and buying your son a fucking flint jacket, a helmet, and ammo because he did a good. This is the crazy part. It's like this mom went out. She bought. Texas mother is charged with aiding her son plot to the terror. I'll just read the story. Ashley Rosa was arrested Monday. The mom was arrested Monday on account of aiding the commission of terror in San Antonio. She allegedly dismissed her 13-year-old son's violent drawings and fascinations with the mass shooting and went on to purchase him an alarming items. The police said, okay, drawings and fascination with mass shootings. That's a red flag. Because I don't know if you met like a 13-year-old, but if that's something they're into, that's something they're into. Like they've been thinking about it. Like when I was 13, I don't know what I was really into. Like video games and how old are you when you're 13? You're like in 8th grade or something. I was reading comic books. I was obsessed with superheroes. I was playing like sports like lacrosse and snowboarding. Yeah, that's what I was into. I wasn't drawing pictures and thinking about mass shootings. Like that's a little bit of a red flag. Like we're talking about people were screaming about mental issues in the America. I'm like that. It's because people aren't really paying attention to the signs. It's like, oh, this is amazing. I was like, okay, Billy, why are you drawing this? Why are we watching videos of this online? Is this what you want to, where your end of your life is? Like, just pull it back. Just pull back a little bit. We don't have to go full indulgent. Like, you should have talked to asked your quick questions instead of just aiding and supplying him everything that he needs to be the real life Punisher without any of the skills. It's just a thought. It might help. You might get closer to your kid. You might figure out what's going around in that head. But definitely not going to an ammo store and supplying him with everything that he would need. Like, that's for sure not the best option. But I don't know, man. It's just crazy to me. Because she got arrested after doing this. Thursday announced the son, a student at Jeremiah Rhodes Middle School in San Antonio, was arrested and charged with terrorism. He was not identified as he is juvenile. Okay. It's like you see, it's like maybe there's something wrong. Like this is the kid. You probably should talk to him. This is why people preach. You should talk to your kids, see what's going on. So you just don't let them wander off and get into things like this. It was before he actually got arrested, a family member saw the boy hitting a live bullet with a hammer. The boy claimed that to the relative, his mother bought him the bullet and tactical gear. Like, yeah. I wonder when you're the family member and you hear that, you're questioning the parenting styles that are in the household at that point. You're just looking like, I don't think that's the right way to do this. Like, I respect the whole concept of helping your kid pursue their interests or setting them up for hopefully doing great things. But it's not quite what people haven't had in mind. It's not really what they meant. What they really meant was that you would, support them when they go and play soccer and show up to their games. Helping, like, if they need, like, new cleats or something, you get them new cleats. Or if they're really into school and reading books, you help them with that. You don't go and buy them enough, like, an entire weapon gauntlet, whatever they need in case anything happened. Unless they were big into hunting, but they don't even need that. Like, you maybe just get a hunting rifle for them for their first time. There's no way in hell that you should be going out and doing this. It's like, oh, it was his interest. Make him find a new interest. He's 13. It's not like it's the end of the world. Usually a 13-year-old will drop a hobby pretty quickly, and then he'll just find something new. It's not that crazy. Sometimes it is, but it's usually not. There's a lot of things they get interested into. Show the kid anime. He might be real big into that. I heard a lot of people are nowadays. But let's not do this. Maybe take him fishing. That's probably all he needs. So I want to go back to this, though, because if you saw the mom of this parent, you'd look at her and be like, that's about right. Like the mom, like full face tattoos, purple hair, neck tat. It might be just an initiation that she was having him go through. Like, this is how you become part of the actual family. But so he plays it only in Texas would this happen, though. Where a mom would buy, because it's probably like a common thing. Yeah. She looks like if I saw her at a parent-teacher conference, I would be looking around and be like, are we sure we're at the right school and we're not at a female detention center? Like, it just doesn't seem right. Just looking back, teardrop tattoo. Like, there's definitely other stuff going on with family. Definitely not put inside the article besides the fact that she helped her son. But I was just more in shock. It's crazy. I just read the article and I was like, when I was like listening to it, like, this is probably something that we should keep an eye on, and we shouldn't just brush it under the rug. I might be crazy, but that's my thought on it. I could be wrong. It could be totally out of pocket. Maybe she has the right way to parent, and I'm wrong. I don't have any kids. I'm not even a parent. The closest thing I have to being a parent is my husky that causes me trouble beyond. It's like a 5-year-old it's terrible to reason with him. Screams when he doesn't get his way. He beats me. It's a whole issue. I don't know how to parent for sure. Maybe she knows what she's doing. I think we should give her the benefit of the doubt. And if we don't, shame on us. Shame on us. On us. I wish I would. I guess we'll find out. Maybe the kid will become a millionaire, and when he'll be like the next Elon Musk. He just had a hiccup on his road. And later on, he's like, my mom, she got arrested for me. She took the fall. And I was like, I'm going to make it up to her. This just builds an entire redemption arc for the kid. You don't know where he's going to go. You don't know what's next. But he's keeping everybody on their toes because he might be the next Next thing in the world. Next biggest thing. Just because his mom took the fall for this. But I guess we'll find out in the next few years. Dude, all my news articles are like all over the place because that's like they're not even. They don't even. I think the closest thing I have is the fact that crazy people exist, and we have the banger of a song that Kanye released recently, and then the Texas mom that deserves to win parent of the year, or really and then we have, and they're just written off as crazy people in this book, but for me, but looking at the Biden, like it's interesting to, not interesting to me, it kind of makes sense that we see they're coming out now. A lot of people were like, Biden might not have been cognizantly there for the last few years of his term. What? He wasn't? That's a shocker. I really thought him shaking ghosts and greeting and then walking up and falling upstairs were all part of the fact that he was perfectly cognizantly there. Was a single issue. He was as sharp as a tack. He knew where everything was coming from. No, but now, like, they're saying, like, some people have been coming out of cabinet, like, he wasn't really there, and there was, like, 2 people. There was something that came out recently also saying that there was, burping, kind of leading his decisions while he was in office, especially towards, like, I want to say it was, like, the last 2 years of his term, because he couldn't make decisions on his own. You saw how the man was walking and like operating, and even with some of the interviews, I don't think he's really done an interview without Jill by his side since he's left presidency, and for some fair reasons. Like he physically can't do it. He's just not mentally there. Even though they were pushing him for years, the fact that he was there and that they wanted him to run for another term, but there was just no way in hell it was gonna work. But it's interesting they're pushing. I wonder if they're pushing now because there's nothing they can do. They had to stick by his side, pretend that he was okay, play the Weekend at Bernie's thing, and get on with their day and see. Because they've hitched their ride to this. If he doesn't get the president, if he's not the president, then they don't have a job. And the moment he doesn't have a job, they're like, oh, we gotta go find something else to do. And yeah, because there was an audio file that came out like him talking, and you could tell that he wasn't cognizant of anything, of really what to say or how to operate. Like he could have conversations, but you can tell it was in that state that he shouldn't be having conversations. He shouldn't be. He shouldn't be out in public addressing the world and being in charge of this responsibility. What he should be doing is what he did for the last year and just hang around and eat ice cream. That's all he really wants. Why are we fighting it? I think this all really started to come out too because it came out that he was like he had cancer. He was diagnosed with cancer, like prostate cancer. And it was like a very aggressive form of cancer. So with this, if it being aggressive right now, then they were probably hiding it from the public while he was in office, which is not surprising. I mean, like when what's his name was in a wheelchair while he was in office, they hid that from the public. Like his aides would stand by him and hold him up every time he was going to give a speech or like walking, and you saw him. There was not a moment, I think it was FDR, where he didn't have his aides by him. Like in every photo, FDR is not sitting down, or he's sitting down, or an aide standing by him, because he was in a wheelchair. And I don't remember if they were hiding the fact that he was in a wheelchair from the American people, or it was just the fact that they were just trying not to do pictures and stuff with him in a wheelchair, which either one would make sense. But if that's the case, then thinking that they hide stuff because of issues with the candidate or the person in charge of the actual government, just so they can kind of not worry about how it would look. There's probably other stuff that they hide that they don't fully tell everybody. Just because it's easier to like speak and talk about it than it's not. And if people start to find out, then they look at it. The whole world looks at it differently. Like, it looks at it as vulnerable. And people were. You can hear, you heard leaders in other countries sit down and with Biden, and they're like, he's not completely there. It's not really the same. And I wonder if it even was. Because he had a body double for like the last year. There was like sketchy stuff that was constantly going on. So I think the entire public knew that Biden wasn't really fit. It was one of those things that was almost impossible to hide. And you can tell it was like impossible for them to hide it because everybody knew. Especially nowadays with everything just being so right in front of you and you're seeing stuff so instantly. Of course. Any little hiccup is going to be seen. Especially when you're in that kind of environment and you're having the cameras on you and you're constantly being surveilled. And especially with YouTube, people are going to be criticizing basically your every move. Are they right to? Probably not. But will they? Yeah. It's because they think they have a say or they think they can do, like, have an opinion because everything matters. Oh my, not everything does. Sometimes it's just a dumb thing that happened. Not everything is based on anti-Semitism or racism in some fucking way because it's, we're trying to get the man. Like, no, it's not. Shut up. Of course, that's not. Could have been something else, but it's definitely not. We could say that. I don't know. I have no idea what to say. It's just not. We could. The fact that they're coming out now and being like, "Oh, Biden, he was always, he wasn't doing that well." I'm like, no shit. Who said he was doing well? The man was losing his marbles. I don't think we have a good man, and I don't think we have a stable person in charge anyways. My honest opinion, we should probably grab a president who's not in this age demographic from in the 80s or 75. Just get someone like a little lower. Get like a 35-year-old guy who's never seen or has been entangled in politics in any way. Might be a little more fun. He's just some guy who's been hanging out. Hasn't really given a fuck. He might have dabbled in his own craziness, but he really hasn't done anything. He just lived in his mom's basement, binge watching cartoons the entire time. That's the kind of guy you're gonna want. Not some dude who's been in politics the entire. Just pick a dude out who's just been watching YouTube his entire life, and his mind's been invaded by Joe Rogan and Theo Von. You see what he's got in any deep depths of the internet, like, because he's just grabbed it all. He might have some interesting opinions. He might not have the best look on the world all the time, but let's see what he's got. He might be able to do some pretty good things. I would look forward to seeing it. I definitely think it would keep the world guessing. Just keep some people on their toes a little bit. Let's not let people get too comfortable. But a 35-year-old virgin would be fucking crazy. Just a 35-year-old indoor cat that's like not really been outside too much. Like the most human connection he has with his mom that he sees probably on a daily basis as she drops the pizza rolls down the chute for him. That's the kind of guy you want. Putin might not respect him, but he's been playing enough video games. He knows how the world works. He was big into COD and stuff. I think he's got some military. He got military experience. let's just trust him. Let's just see what he's got. Probably he's got some interesting ideas. But he's got. Think about speaking of 35-year-old versions. The Spider-Man Noir. This is a little more fun, I would say, of a conversation. So the Spider-Man Noir trailer dropped about a week ago. Oh, it dropped a while ago. I haven't really looked at it. It dropped like 3 months ago, I guess. It's interesting that they're expanding this universe for Spider-Man. I mean, yes, is it a cash grab? For sure. Does it open a lot of doors? To see what the potential is? Yes, it does. But what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought completely. It opens this universe up. So I haven't watched the trailer, but the Spider-Man Noir they're basing this off of is the Spider-Man from the Spider-Verse. You know, the Spider-Verse Spider-Man Noir. And I don't know too much about the character, but it does. If Sony has, I wonder if Sony has control of this universe, or if Marvel does. But I'm curious how much they'll grow the universe. How, if this is the only one that's getting a solo movie, or Spider-Gwen, or I heard the Miles Morales version from like that second universe is getting a solo film too. So they're looking to kind of build this out. I'm also curious, like, should you build it out, or should you kind of only just kind of make these movies and then tie it into the MCU or tie it into something? Because you could just make this like an oversaturated market. You lose the illusionment that's in this world. But let's see what it is.
Everyone remembers New York differently. For some, it was great. And for some, in 1933, everything changed. People were just looking for a way not to starve to death. This time turned good people into monsters, and monsters into gods. Sometimes you have to become just as dark as the world around you. Because darkness is all you have. Here I am.
And I got gypped. This is a fan trailer. Of course it is. I was like, it's so good. They have me. I'm like, but none of this is animated, because like I thought this was like an animated series, and none of it was animated. Like, they really could get me. Yeah, it was pretty good put together.
A way of swallowing men whole.
There we go.
The streets bleed. They think this city belongs to them. And hope, that died with the last honest man.
Two things you can't take back on this job, kid. Bullets out of your gun, and words out of your mouth.
I know that already.
This city don't run on laws. It runs on fear, and I own every drop of it.
You don't own the city. You infected it. And I'm the cure.
I lost a friend. And I will not rest until this killer is found.
I wasn't always like this. I had a simple life. Then I found the mask.
You think a mask
Makes you righteous, Spider-Man? You're just another freak hiding in the dark.
Maybe. But I'm the freak that keeps the city breathing.
Interesting. Well, I hope that was the right trailer. But the cartoon style, I thought they were going to do a cartoon style similar to like the Spider-Verse trailer. But that's not the case at all. They're using like an artwork style, but it's like that old school like detective comics kind of look. It's like glossy, or like old school like detective shows. I think the closest thing I can think of that kind of looked like that was Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Like kind of that style, because it had like a live action feel to it, and then you have some panels that like these are like drawings. I think it's cool. I'm interested in watching it. But I'm curious if they can pull it off. And I'm also curious if this is like if they can add this into the Spider-Verse somehow and they can make the connection. Like, do we see? I wonder if we'll see the connection at the end of the movie of, like, oh, this is Spider-Verse, or this is him going off on this adventure, or is it the beginning of him finding out that there's something more? It would be an interesting, because what a lot the superhero movies, the superhero movies nowadays seem like they're trying to take restructure how they're doing things because of the chronic fatigue that a lot of people had, especially after Marvel during COVID, and all those stuff just got released on such a more rapid pace that people kind of weren't ready for. And if they can figure out how to maneuver that and make it into something different. But I think this Spider-Man kind of take, the Spider-Verse take, it changes. It feels like it changes perception quite a bit of how super movies can be done. Like, we don't have to be live action straight. We can do these kind of cool comic book ideas and make them feel comic booky and not so real, to allow people to have more fun with it. Because it's probably another like issue is just having such live action movies so constantly. You don't suspend this idea of reality as much. But I guess we'll have to see. It could be good. I mean, they haven't done a bad Spider-Verse movie yet. And I feel like this one's gonna be very self-contained. It's not gonna be too out there. You'll have just the Spider-Man noir and kind of his world that he lives in. I don't know what would a live action one look like. I feel like you would have to do kind of a weird art style, just because of the kind of character he is and the stories that get told in that comic book realm, in that comic book line, I would say. Because it's like a very old 1930s. It feels more detective-y comics, but it's like feels like there's the mob installed in it somehow. We could see. We'll see. We'll for sure see. I'm gonna see it. It's on Prime. All right. Hopefully, I don't have to pay for it. It's gonna suck. I don't think I will. If not, I'll just get the password get someone's Prime password and watch it. See if it'll suck away 2 hours of my life that I will want back. But if not, then definitely worth it. Probably not. Maybe. Hopefully. I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea. And it's really for me to figure it out. I want it to be good, dude. It would be cool if it was good. Because then they'll make the entire... I low-key want them to make all the Spider-Verse movies, but I don't think they should either. That's a whole nother rabbit hole, but it could be. I think it'll be very interesting if they do it right. And then that's all I got. I know this was like depressing and somewhat cool at the end, the Spider-Verse, Spider-Noir, but depressing episode done. Peace out from the shit show.